Thank you. Well, new funding announced today will allow Duluth International Airport to continue with an essential renovation project. Northern News Now's Madison Green tells us how the new project will take the region's aviation industry to new heights.
A clear vision. That's what Tom Werner, the executive director of the Duluth Airport Authority, hopes is the result of the air traffic control relocation project.
Our current air traffic control tower is over 70 years old and nearing the end of its useful life. And so having a new modern facility for our air traffic controllers to work out of is just paramount to this continued growth and success of air commerce based out of Duluth.
Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar and Representative Pete Stauber announced Thursday $10 million in federal funding for the project, finally allowing it to take off. Duluth International Airport is a hub for the aviation economy in the region, generating over $760 million annually. Leaders say delaying this project anymore could be detrimental.
Air traffic control is one of those centric pieces of infrastructure that make it all work on a daily basis. The $10 million that we just received will allow us to get started.
The completed project will increase the height of the tower by 100 feet and move it from the outskirts of the airport to a more centralized location. To get it there, $42 million more in federal funding and $14 million in state money is needed, totaling $66 million. Money, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar says, won't be hard to come by.
I think part of the investment comes when the people come, when the economic development comes. This is far from a fading area. This is a growing area.
Werner agrees and is hopeful they will secure the remaining funds.
Well, this really is our opportunity to get it done. A funding source didn't exist before for this type of project at Duluth, and so we're really excited to take advantage of it and really excited to get the project going.
Raising the standards for safety and development. In Duluth, Madison Green, Northern News Now.
Madison, thank you. Now, the Duluth Airport Authority expects to begin construction on the new tower in summer of 2025 and take about 2 years to complete. Flights will not be affected during construction.